Metapod. So, welcome to Longshot Parking Lot. We're evolving. It's a Metapod episode.
We're going to just talk about random stuff because that's what we want to do. And I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I was going to make a joke and you just stole it from me.
I'm so sorry. How did I steal it? I didn't say anything funny.
Okay, that's par for the course. We were supposed to record and you canceled. Mm-hmm. And then that following week, we went for Tuesday. I was sick. Went for Thursday. It snowed.
And then it snowed. And then it snowed. And then it snowed.
And it snowed today. But I still made it.
And Drew had to... did you shovel yourself into a parking spot?
I did. Move some snow, like the high stuff, just so it doesn't catch me anywhere. And then threw that back in there. And then just like, whoop. Yeah. But this has been like 2 days.
Just relentless.
Yeah. It's like every 2 days. And it's like, well, I'm not emotionally and physically recovered from the last time.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending cycle.
It's a never-ending cycle. So once in a while, this is our second one, but I think it's going to be a somewhat regular thing.
If you ever listen to The Adventure Zone, think of this as the lunar interlude.
Okay. Don't know what that means,
That's
but
fine.
What he said. We're calling these our Metapod episodes where we just kind of shoot the shit and talk about whatever. And when there's not necessarily one specific like piece of media that we want to dissect, but just want to like have a parking lot conversation, that's what this is. Drew pointed out that Metapod is the what is it? The stage between the caterpillar and Caterpie and Butterfree. Butterfree? Mm-hmm. That sounds like a dairy product.
It's the opposite of a dairy product because it's butter-free.
That's true. So anyway, we're in the cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works on so many levels because it's a Metapod, mm-hmm. but it's also like the in-between stage.
Yeah.
It's also green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works.
So what's been going on? What are you thinking about lately?
So much.
Yeah?
I don't know where to start.
So you were recently named president of True North Elite, which is a soccer club.
Supporters group.
You don't want to talk about that?
I don't need to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about myself like that.
Okay.
Thanks, though.
How's soccer going? Did we just start? We just started preseason something, right?
Yeah, preseason started a couple of weeks ago. There's been 3 scrimmages. We destroyed the first team because they were a new team. They're like super small. So I texted you a little bit a while back that I want to start following this. Mm-hmm. I just feel like I want to. I don't know. How would I, like, are they recorded anywhere or? So yeah, preseason games are usually, if it's a big enough game, it'll be streamed on Minnesota United's website or the other team's website. And are they like saved? Like, can you go back and watch them later? I don't think so. Okay. Preseason's usually not that big of a deal. Yeah. So I'd have to watch them live. It's also preseason. Yeah. Which is like, you're not going to get a lot. You get wholesale changes at halftime. Okay. Preseason isn't necessarily like a big gotta watch kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, no. If you are a Minnesota United fan, just come hang out with me. So when are the games? They're usually matches? Are they matches? Oh my God. I played soccer for 10 years, you guys. 10 years. Yeah. No, matches. They're usually on the weekends, Saturdays or Sundays or Wednesdays. Have I told you that my soccer coach was on Survivor? No. She was on Survivor. That's so weird. Yeah, it was super weird. We had I had a really complicated family life in high school. And so she was also the school social worker. Uh-huh. And we were pretty close. And she actually probably like literally saved my life. And then she disappeared. And then randomly I came to school and my yearbook teacher, who also was a big deal to me, was like, "Hey, Katie, come here." Turned the computer screen around and it was her fucking Survivor profile on like the whatever ABC website or whatever it is. CBS. And then I watched her on live primetime TV Thursday nights when she like ghosted me and everyone else. That's so wild. It was so weird. And then she divorced her husband, moved to Chicago, and her best friend was also on The Amazing Race. And that's the last thing I ever heard. That's so weird. I have a weird life. It's a little weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know where that came from. Soccer. That's where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah. Season's about to start, so I'm about to get more busy than I already am. I've dealt with a lot of stuff today. Soccer stuff. It's nothing new. Yeah.
Twitter drama.
I vented it out. It's all fine now. It's fine. I'm not going to get into it on my podcast. This is a happy place.
It's an honest place.
It's an honest place. It's more honest than it needs to be. That's why my birthday is redacted. Yeah. Soccer is starting. The home opener is in April, and there's a lot of home games.
Because of what you were talking, I thought you were going to say something about the homo.
Wow. Yes, we do have a gay player on our team. Yes, there are people in the comments like bitching about it, and they're all super close-minded, and it drives me nuts. This is a positive space.
I'm so sorry.
I already read through the comments and how people don't understand that being pro something isn't automatically anti-you. It's check your fucking privilege. Oh my God. Anyways.
Sorry to do that too. Sorry.
It's fine.
I just really thought that you were going to be like, the homo.
No.
Which I can say because I'm gay, guys. It's fine. Go on. I'm gay and I like soccer, so he and I are the same person, basically.
They meant you and me. And I was like,
no.
Not quite.
Drew's not gay.
Not quite.
No.
Do you follow True North Elite on anything?
I don't know. I don't think I do. Our Instagram does.
Instagram is.
Yeah.
That's the best way to find out when we're doing things.
Okay.
Because I'm going to forget to reach out.
Yeah, I can follow.
Just being honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been following a lot of political stuff lately.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm
really interested. I don't know. I'm somewhat religiously affiliated, or at least interested. You made a face. What's that?
I have religious updates.
Okay. You have religious updates?
I'm questioning myself.
Interesting.
I don't know if I'm Buddhist.
Okay.
Mostly because I haven't done enough research on the other thing that I might be.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in that now.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Interrupt. No, I think you should say what you're saying.
No, you're following politics.
Well, I just continue to be fascinated with all the Democrats who are announcing for 2020.
So many. And they're all like, I want to be the woman president that isn't Hillary. I want to be the woman president that isn't Hillary. I want to be the black woman president.
Yeah. Or the black man president. The next Obama, Yeah. And then you've got the Ilhan Omar's been accused of some anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is still doing her thing. Nancy Pelosi is like maybe does or doesn't hate them. Like, we don't know. And it's just so weird. But I guess the connection I've been drawing with the church, because I feel like I still desire to be involved with community, right? And I like spiritual people because they have this altruism and they're interested in reevaluating and thinking, at least progressive religious people, they're thinking people and they want to make themselves better and they want to make the world better. And I'm like, oh, this is what it is. It's the Nancy Pelosi's versus the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's and the Ilhan Omar's. I'm tired of a Democratic Party that has no cojones, and they're boring and they're wussies and they give in to everything and they just bow down to whoever, and they're scared and they don't take any action.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you have the freshman class come into the house. And they're like, nah, we're going to change things. And then you have Nancy Pelosi and even Amy Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren who are like, that's not realistic, And then they're like, no, it is. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And suddenly people are like, oh, we can do that? We can have some balls.
Yeah.
We can go in and change things. And it's been fun to watch, you know?
It gives me hope. Yeah. Because the shit's still totally pretend.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who is. I mean, it matters.
It matters.
It very much matters. But it's also black president, hooray for history.
Yeah. And I think it was what needed to happen then. Like, I think we just didn't have we didn't know what we know now back then.
Right.
But I'm like, oh, this is what it is with the church, the progressive church today, right? The church that's like, we like the gays, but we don't want to be like about that, you know? Or like, we like women, but like, we want everyone to feel comfortable here.
It's fake stuff. It's we want your vote. We want your in, but we don't actually care about you.
We want your tithe. We want your money.
Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier about the whole Chris Pratt church situation. Like, he got kind of in trouble, at least called out this week for going to a church that's famously anti-LGBT, which Hillsong, which writes half the songs you sing at church if you're part of like a mainstream church that plays guitars in worship. So it's like hard to criticize, but like, oh, they fund gay conversion therapy. Do you want to be giving money to that? That's actually a problem. Or is it a problem? If you don't think it's a problem, then just say that. Own what you believe. That's fine. So I'm just like I'm ready to be affiliated with groups that have some teeth. Like,
stand up for them.
Yeah. Give me something. Let's fight together. Let's stand up for something. Let's say no to some things and yes to some things. And I feel like tolerance or like love and compassion are by nature exclusive, which is like weird to say. But the truth is that a white supremacist walks into your church, and I'm using this can be of any group, but this is what I'm familiar with. A white supremacist walks into your church, and you're not like, get out of here. You're like, yeah, you can be here. Like, we'll love you. We'll whatever. You don't get a place at the table. You don't get the microphone. You don't get a vote. You don't get we're not going to tell you to leave because like we want to influence you, or we want to show you what true love and compassion are. You're shaking your head.
I hate that so much.
I know. But a church who's like Jesus following or uses Jesus as the example, right, isn't going to be like, you're a hateful person. You're not allowed here. They're going to be like, you're a hateful person. You can be here. You don't get a vote. What churches today are doing, the same thing that the news media is doing, which is we want to give everyone an equal voice, right? Don't give everyone an equal voice. You want the truth. You know, that's what journalism is about. It's about the truth. It's not about giving everyone an equal platform. And that's the mistake that the news media has made. And so what churches right now are doing is saying what they wouldn't do with a racist, right? Which is, oh, well, everyone gets a place at the table, but they will do with homophobes, which is like, oh, well, you give us a lot of money, so we want your input too. We want you to feel comfortable here. But the essence of compassion and love is that you exclude people who have those sorts of opinions. Not necessarily that you kick them out, you exile them, but that they don't get a vote, right. You know. But progressive churches and progressive politics have been giving those voices a vote, and they just don't get it anymore. They don't get to. So I don't know. I'm watching intently in both like the spiritual environment and the political environment to see who has some teeth, because I'm ready for that. Although I heard that maybe Cory Booker is dating Rosario Dawson, and I'm kind of totally on board for that.
Those are names that I don't know.
Okay, so Cory Booker is the I Want to Be Obama.
Oh, okay.
So he's the one black dude in the race.
And they made a big deal about how he's single.
Yeah,
but
so he's
potentially
single.
Dating. Yeah.
But he said, I have a boo.
Yeah.
Those words.
Yeah.
After being seen with Rosario Dawson.
That. Yeah.
Rosario Dawson, I have like the biggest crush on her. She's super hot. She was in like 7 Pounds and Rent and all the Marvel Netflix series. She's like the night nurse girl in those. But as wrong as it might be, I'm like, man, I don't really care about Cory Booker, but if that means a vote for Rosario Dawson, then yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel overwhelmed right now with the amount of candidates. And
I'm really afraid that they're just going to
hurt each other.
Yeah.
And then the Donald Trump of the Democratic Party is going to get the nomination.
Who's that?
Elizabeth Warren. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who it is.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the Democratic Party that anybody's got to be better than Trump, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen some polls where it's like, people are like, even if I disagree with a Democrat on like 90% of the issues, I still want someone who's electable over someone whose values I adhere with.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
It's kind of like the Beto O'Rourke's, because he's actually quite conservative when it comes to Democrats, but he's like young and cute and fun and white and male, you know.
It doesn't have my vote. Also, I'm sick of old people.
Yeah.
I think he's young. Ageist. I know, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like Bernie. Bernie had a shot. Don't take votes from other people.
I don't want him to run. I don't want Joe Biden to run.
I don't either. Like, I love you, Joe, but no, we're done with old men. He would
be a great advisor to whoever goes in. He'd be a great, I don't know, Secretary of State or something. But I really hope that I was watching Meghan McCain.
They're going to hurt more than they help.
Yeah. I was watching her talk because she's a Republican. Obviously, her dad was a Republican. Meghan McCain, John McCain's daughter. And she was like, honestly, the way that like the Bidens treated us while my dad was sick, I would have to quit television because I don't think I could say a bad thing against him. But I'm a Republican. And so I just feel like so many people like loved Obama so much and love like Joe Biden's, although he's kind of a creepy grandpa too. You can watch like cuts together of him like awkwardly touching women and then being like really uncomfortable with it. But
old white dude.
Yeah. What did you think about? Did you watch Amy Klobuchar's acceptance speech or her acceptance speech?
No.
Her announcement?
No. It's to the point where I don't care about your announcement. I want your politics so I can make a good decision.
I think I watched Amy's just because she's Minnesota.
Yeah. And then I saw Donald Trump's response. Just dumb. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think I responded to him. I was like, hey, little guy, it's just called February in Minnesota. You'll get it next time.
It's also called climate change and not global warming.
Yeah. But the truth is a snowstorm in February in Minnesota
is normal.
Has nothing to do with climate change.
It's completely
has nothing to do.
The polar vortex does. But
like on Sunday it wasn't
a random
even,
Sunday
it was like 20
snowing.
degrees.
Yeah,
it wasn't even negative 10, you know.
Right.
So I was like, nope, this is normal. This is what we do. There's nothing to do with anything. Because even people were commenting like, no, this is because of climate change. I'm like, no, it was 19 degrees and it was snowing in February.
That's a normal winter day. The Wednesday before that, or two Wednesdays before that, the negative 50, that's climate change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally agree. In this particular instance, I was like, guys, settle down. And I loved because I watch all the late night shows and whatever, and they were making comments about how crazy it was that she was covered in snow. And I'm like, come on, this is not, you know better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't, there isn't anyone yet in the race that I'm like, oh yeah, them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it's really weird to say like Bernie was the only Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Obama and Bernie are the only two that I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was Obama's second term was when I was like old enough to vote that I cared. And I was like, yeah, no, it needs to be Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bernie, I actually was like, I care. That's where we disagreed. But then, yeah.
Yeah. I think I just want them to, I'm nervous about Democrats infighting and tearing each other down and then having to kind of get behind, kind of like the Bernie Hillary thing where Bernie was like, she's the worst, you know, and then the worst, she's the worst.
I just did the Bernie hands.
And then was like, no, vote for her, you know?
Yeah.
So that was just weird. I think it hurt her, you know?
It's any internal politics.
But I want, because I had this thought during the Minnesota governor election where I was like, it was Tim Walz and Aaron Murphy. And I was I don't know. Tell me why you're better.
Different. Yeah. What's your difference?
Different. Yeah. Because I watched a bunch of like YouTube like interviews with them and debates and stuff. And I couldn't figure out like what was different about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up voting for Erin Murphy just because I was like, well, if they're the same, I'll vote for the girl. I don't know. Tell me why you're better. I don't know. And so like if you're Democrats, like what I'm seeing is I think all the people running have signed off on the Green New Deal, which is great. The Amy Klobuchars of the world and the Elizabeth Warrens are like, Medicare for all isn't realistic. And I'm like, bullshit. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me how you're going to do it. Don't tell me it's not possible.
Right.
But then it's like, or are you saying that because it's not electable? And again, I'm like, bullshit.
I've seen AOC.
Show me
I've
some
seen
teeth.
Ilhan. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
Show me some teeth. And that's how you get elected, I think. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That was a lot of politics, but it's just really been on my mind.
No, I get it. I've been on my self-help kick. I've fallen off the journaling a little bit.
Okay.
With priorities, you know.
The bullet journaling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I need to get back into it. I'm still being productive, but it'll help once I find out, hopefully by the end of the week. So I've been listening to the Bruce Lee podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about like Taoism and like.
Oh, we're talking about your religious thing. Okay.
So now I'm like, do I believe in Taoism?
What's the difference between Taoism and Buddhism?
That's what I don't know. It's just the fact that they could talk about Taoism a lot. And I'm like, I agree with a lot of this. Yeah. Like I agree. I haven't found something that I disagree with yet. So I'm like, I need to look into this more to see what the difference is. Yeah. I know they're kind of similar, but it's a lot of like the truth of the universe. And once you name it, it's not it anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's like the whole Buddhist thing too. And I'm like, I agree with this. Yeah. So I need to really look into it.
Interesting.
So that was my little.
So you're crisis. Just like questioning whether Buddhist is the term that you would use to describe yourself the best.
Right. And I still don't like to necessarily label myself like that. Yeah. Even.
Yeah. I will say, because when I was thinking about like the church thing in metaphor with the politics, I was very like, oh yeah, if you can make me interested, show me some teeth. Like what I actually believe about God or like what my theology is. I don't think that really matters. I'll be in. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's funny to be in that place and just be like, I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know if it matters. Yeah. It's a first in my lifetime.
Nothing matters. Everything's fake.
Yeah. Or it just all matters. And that means
we're all going to die in the end.
It's all equally. Yeah. So thanks for listening. This is the part of the conversation where Drew and I would be like, well, we have to get home before Liz gets worried about us. And true. We'd be in the parking lot and be like, oh no, because our friend Liz always wants us to text her when we get home because she gets worried. Mm-hmm. So we would get in our cars and drive away. And then we would text her little emojis of our homes to let her know we got home. But it would be like 2 hours after we left.
Yeah. And it's a 25-minute drive from her apartment to our places.
So 2.5 hours after we left her apartment, we would send her the home emoji.
And she'd already be in bed for like an hour and a half.
She definitely would already be in bed. Yeah. I feel like if I wasn't gay, that would look so suspicious. But whatever. Drew's making a face.
No, I've now connected the dots. I just like, why is this? Oh. Yeah. I get it. I left a Super Bowl watch party early because the weather was bad. Mm-hmm. And one of my other friends left at the same time. And they're like, oh, they're going to go make out. And we're like, I'm just trying to get home safe.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. Didn't care.
Didn't miss much. No. It was a defensive battle, and I appreciated that. Right. I don't appreciate the NFL anymore, though, so I just want to hang out with my friends.
Yeah. If I had friends, I would go and hang out with them.
This is where I'd put my friends, if I had any.
If I had them. When I was...
We'll be friends more once I get my Switch.
Yeah. When I was in middle school, I had a cardboard cutout of Anakin Skywalker in my bedroom.
Reminds me of a story.
I got him at a garage sale.
This is something we're going to talk about. How many pillows do you sleep with?
Pillows?
Yes.
I've been having pillow drama. I sleep with one at a time. But I have a pillow.
You do that with partners, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you have.
You
sleep with one pillow under your head. I sleep
with one pillow under my head at a time. But I have one pillow that's like too structured, and then I have one pillow that's too flat, and both of them do not work for me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend $25 on like a new mediocre.
Fine, you test it. You work at Target, you can test it.
I know, but I just like I get to it, and I'm like. But do I need? No, I've been whatever. I'm bad at sleeping anyway. Why be comfortable when I'm doing it? When I'm being bad at sleeping, it's just hard to justify when you're awake.
Have you thought that?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it would help.
Yeah, I know. So that's my pillow drama. Is that I sleep with a small fan on my bed.
So you have one pillow and you have a small fan on.
Yeah. So, but I can't have both pillows on the bed at the same time.
There really is drama.
Yeah. So there's room and I have a queen size bed, so it's not like small, but it's not huge. So the fan gets a corner, and my phone gets the other corner.
And see, I also have a queen size bed, and I sleep on a side of it. I don't sleep in the middle of it, so that's why
my bed is old enough that I can't really sleep on one side. I would fall to the middle.
Worn in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
And I've tried to flip it and stuff. Both sides are like that. So
time for a new bed, new pillow. I just fixed your sleeping problem.
I'm poor.
That would be $300.
New bed, new pillow is more than $300.
Casper mattresses. Let me tell you. Anyway, okay. So you have a fan.
Yep.
One pillow. Broken bed.
Yep. Well, it's not. It's just one.
I understand. I'm joking.
It's like a hand-me-down. But it's comfy. It's like sleeping on a cloud. But just for the sleeping, it's a little worn in. Okay. But yeah, so I'll start with the like thick pillow, and then like halfway through the night, my neck will be kind of sore, and so I'll get the thin pillow that's like almost like not being on a pillow, so I have to like scrunch it up underneath my neck. But then by the time morning comes around, then I'm just sleeping on basically no pillow, and my neck hurts, and I tend to sleep with like one arm under me, and so my shoulder hurts. I'm 30, you guys. So I just always hurt when I'm sleeping.
I'm so sorry.
I've accepted it.
You should invest in a better mattress pillow.
I feel like people like went most of human history not worrying about like the thing they were sleeping on.
Have you thought about installing a hammock, sleeping in that?
Well, I've tried to sleep in the hammock in the way that I have it in my apartment sometimes now. And it's really comfy to like lounge in. It's not as comfy to like.
Have you ever slept in your hammock?
Yeah. I've slept next to the water in my hammock, but when I've tried to sleep here just to see how it would go, I tend to like curl up, and that doesn't really work in a hammock.
Do you do that when you sleep like next to the water in the hammock?
No, because I'm like napping.
You're napping. You don't sleep long enough. That makes sense.
It's like different. So because I have always thought like if I had a friend over for the weekend, or like someone came up from who I wasn't sharing a bed with.
I always forget that this is an audio media because I make the best faces, guys.
You really do. We'll have to at some point get like a YouTube thing going. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But
smash that subscribe button.
He made a face like a friend, but
I did an eyebrow raise.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But this would have to be a friend I wasn't sleeping with sexually. But if like maybe a friend from out of town or something stayed here, I don't really have like I have a small couch, but not one that I could really sleep on. So I was like, I could probably, if I had to, I could sleep in my hammock, but I don't think I'd get like a good night's sleep.
Gotcha. I forgot how I got started on this.
I don't know. You're very interested in my sleeping habits.
I was very interested in how many pillows you had because you'd said something to me and I don't remember what it was, but I know where I'm just going with it. So I sleep with 3 pillows. I have one for my head, one for between my knees because I sleep on my side, and one for my arms. Like I hug a pillow because I'm a cuddler. I'm a little cuddly bear.
I've tried that. I just can't. I don't know.
And that's fine. And that's what I do. And my friend made a comment. He's like, "That's so sad. I should get you a blow up doll." And that reminded me of your Anakin cutout.
Anakin cutout.
Like, it's worse. It's so much worse to say, like, oh, I have a blow-up doll because I like to cuddle when I sleep, versus, like, I just sleep with a pillow between my arms.
Yeah.
That, like, works as, like, if somebody needed to stay over, that's the pillow they can use.
Yeah.
And then I'll hold them in my arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're down to cuddle.
Yeah.
They're D2C.
D2C. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because now looking back on it, I'm not sure, like, what my parents thought I wanted a cardboard cutout of Anakin for in my bedroom. Like, they knew I was super nerdy, so there was no, like, at least to me, they weren't like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I remember then being like, I have a cute young Hayden Christensen in my bedroom. And I don't know, like, trying to, like, be like, oh, he can be my boyfriend. But I never really, I was just like, let's go fight a battle together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. So many things like that. Now looking back, I'm like, how did I not know that was gay? I just remember, like, in the middle of the night, I'd always think that I saw him with glowing red eyes. And it kind of freaked me out.
That is creepy.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Our friends are worried about us.
Yeah.
What's the point of that story?
As a Christian middle schooler growing up, there was, like, Christian themed knockoff shirts and logo stuff. Well, kind of, but VeggieTales was its own thing. They would have, like, it looked like Abercrombie and Fitch, but it would say a breadcrumb and fish, you know? Or it would look like the Sprite logo, but it would say Spirit.
Spirit, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't like those things.
I loved them back, but it was also, like, you know, 1999.
It's like the website Redbubble.
Yeah, like the t-shirt thing.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I've got a bunch of stickers that are like, it says, it's the old Minnesota Timberwolves logo,
mm-hmm.
as in like the 2 years ago one, with the trees and stuff. The old one says, instead of saying Minnesota Timberwolves, it says Winterfell Direwolves, but it's the same logo.
Yeah.
Or like the NASA TARDIS logo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Dude, I've kind of fantasized about, like, I don't know, if there was some sort of, okay, this is really, sorry, this is bad. Don't judge me.
I'm judging myself.
If there's some sort of, like, bad thing that happens in Minnesota, right? And there's, like, a news interviewer that comes up to you and says, what do you have to say? And then just to be able to be like, the North remembers. You know?
I love it.
I just would love to be able to say that in context.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I would love to say that out of context.
Yeah.
What's like the Vine reference? Mm-hmm. It's like, what's your favorite color? And it's like this snowman, and he's just like, blood. Stuff like that.
I haven't seen the Vine, but you saying it made me laugh, so I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like voiced over.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't see the guy's face.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really funny.
Yeah, I talk to myself constantly.
You need more friends.
Do I though?
Do I though? I'm here. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You have a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Can you play online with Switch with other people? Okay. I'm thinking about getting a Switch soon.
There are like certain games so like Mario Party and stuff like that.
There's 4 games I would get if I get a Switch, and by say if, I mean when. It's Super Smash because Super Smash is amazing. Mm-hmm. Mario Kart because Mario Kart's amazing. Mm-hmm. Mario Party because that sounds like a fun party game. Mm-hmm. And Breath of the Wild.
Dude, I'm so close to beating Breath of the Wild. I've had so much fun over the last few weeks, but I don't want to beat it because there's still like so many little side quests to do. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I can, I'm sure I can still do them when I beat it, but I don't want like, I don't know.
To be overpowered when you do it?
Yeah, I don't want to be OP, and I don't want to be like, well, I guess I already beat it. And I don't want options to be taken away from me if like...
That's, yeah, so the Minish Cap, I missed the magic arrows, and then I beat the game, and I can't get the magic arrows anymore. Mm-hmm. So I relate to that problem, that dilemma.
I've been, like, every paycheck I get, I'm like, can I afford to get Let's Go Pikachu or whatever? Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I can't really afford it. But mostly, the reason is because I don't know enough. I don't know as much about Pokemon as I want to know. And so Like, I want to get the game so that I can know things and be like a true millennial.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is just, from my understanding, is like the first gen remake.
Yeah, but I never actually, like, my brothers had those, but I didn't. I would borrow them and play them, but I didn't like play through them, you know? So I never really truly played them.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but the first gen's the worst generation of Pokemon. I'm definitely not one of those purist OGs. Yeah. I'm like, nah, dude. Second gen's
the
my
ones
favorite.
I'm the most like nostalgic about.
Second gen's the one that I would say is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Because I went from Pokemon Yellow, which is technically first gen, to Silver. Silver's when I really got into it. And then I got Blue. And I was like, this is not as good as Silver. Anyways, and then it goes from there. But
yeah.
So that's why I probably wouldn't get Pokemon if I got a Switch. I would literally just get those 4 games because there's a good single player game and the rest are multiplayer. But I want to play them with people.
Yeah.
So I might get a Switch.
That's how we're a little bit different. I left Drew out in the snow, in the cold.
For 40 minutes.
Which is an eternity when you're waiting for someone to answer their phone. I feel like
40 seconds is an eternity when you're waiting. Yeah. No, I was only out there for like 5 minutes.
My phone has been super on the fritz.
I know, it's driving me nuts. It makes me anxious.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I actually have been pretty proud of myself though, because I feel like in, a year ago, if my phone like didn't have service, it would be a huge fucking problem. Like, and now I'm like, oh well, I'll wait till I'm on Wi-Fi. Like, my friends were texting me about plans on this last Monday, and I didn't get any of their texts all weekend. They just thought I was ignoring them. And I was like, nope, I really didn't get them. But the funny thing is that I'm bad enough at responding to texts that it wasn't weird to them. They were like, yeah, she's just not responding. Oops.
How anxious you're making me.
I'm so sorry.
My future depends on you answering one call.
I know. I kind of was hoping, like, I had my computer open, so I was like assuming if my phone didn't pick up that it would ding on my computer, but it didn't. I'm gonna get a new one, I promise. I'm resistant to I don't want to not have a home button on my phone.
I like not having a home button.
I'm just like bad with change because I'm 30.
That's so my friend was telling me about, she does an internship with middle schoolers, and they're talking about things that are old, like in our ideas of like corded phones or like VCRs, stuff like that. And they were like, when phones used to have home buttons.
Oh, that was like 2 years ago.
I know.
Yeah. Well, the other crazy thing about that is that means that it's normal for, how old are those kids?
Middle schoolers.
Middle school kids to have like the newest iPhone, which is just crazy to me.
Same.
I had a Nokia track phone until I was a sophomore in college.
Okay.
It was my dad's.
I felt like I always had the newest whatever when it came out.
I did until Apple started being dumb.
Right. I'm thinking like even older than that. Like, yeah, I had a flip phone.
Did you have a Razr?
Phones. I had a Razr.
Yes.
I had a rocker. I had like a really shitty smartphone like when they first came out. And then I was like, yep, nope, I need an iPhone. I rode my 8 for a while.
Yeah, I've had a 7 for 3 years.
Did I have an 8? No, I had a 7. 6 was the gray one. Okay, 5 was my favorite. 6 was the one I didn't like, so I got a 7 because it was all black. 8 came out and I didn't get it because it was the exact same, only had a glass back. And then I got my 10S.
Yeah, I'm on the 7.
I'm going to keep my 10S for a while. I really like my 10.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm really against obvious, like when Apple makes a touch bar instead of a touch screen. Mm-hmm. It's like, that is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like you have the technology and you're intentionally holding it back because people will buy it. And that just makes me fucking crazy because not only is it just stupid capitalism, but it's also Like, weirdly, I don't know why I feel defensive of this, but it's like anti-Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm. We had this conversation last time.
Oh, man. It makes me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the antithesis of what your company was built on.
Right.
So, like, there was a story I heard where Steve Jobs wanted the phone thinner, or maybe it was like the first iPod or something. And they're like, we can't make it any thinner. It's as thin as it's going to go. He's like, no, make it thinner. And they're like, we can't. The engineers were like, this is as good as it's going to get. He takes it and throws it in a fish tank. And there are bubbles coming out of it. And he's like, there's air inside. That means you can make it smaller. Like, that's Steve Jobs. You know, he was a dick, but he knew what he was doing.
Right.
Most of the time. And so I'm like, I just feel like I like, what's his name? Tim Cook as like, but like, come on, man.
Right.
You know, you already have so much money. You have all the money. Make a good product. Make the best product.
Right.
You know, and that's how you continue to make money. But the reason you're not, and so I'm not buying your phone. Like, until I have to because it fucking breaks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. And I'm too attached to Apple products now. I'm not going to not have an Apple product. And so I have to buy your stupid new phone because it's not better. But I guess I'll buy it.
Yeah. I waited 2 gens. I was updating every other generation. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, is about as fast as I'd feel comfortable updating.
Well, I was updating every time I had like a new, you know, like you're up for an upgrade. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I don't have to do that. And that means I pay less per month. Great. Now I'm going to pay more per month because I have to get a new stupid phone because your stupid phone broke.
Your phone is also like 3 years old.
I know, but that shouldn't matter.
Technology goes extinct after 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's just our society.
For something that's, if you can get $600 or something. If you can
get 3 years out of something, that's good.
No, I agree. I just hate it. And I hate that they're doing it on purpose. Because it wouldn't need to be that way, but they do it on purpose so that you'll have to buy another one.
I don't believe in that much. I take care of my stuff well enough that I don't feel like I'm forced to upgrade. Mm-hmm. But I know confidently that technology 3 years ago isn't physically as good as it is now. Yeah. So it's bad if you keep that. You know, like computers should be updated every 3 years, like a new hardware.
It's just for something that costs like $2,000, like my laptop. Like, I can't spend $2,000 every 3 years.
Right. Apple laptops are different. They last a long time. Yeah. But like desktop computers.
Okay. I watched a thing. I've been watching like documentaries about Katharine Hepburn.
Okay.
Because I watched a thing about how, so this documentary came out last year based on a book about this guy who apparently was kind of the supplier or like connection maker for like old Hollywood. And so like there's this, it's very well known that Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were, not only did they star in all these movies together, he was married to his wife his whole life, but they weren't together for most of his life. And it's pretty well known that Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn were like together for most of their life, but like secretly.
Okay.
So this guy comes out and says, this guy named Scotty, who came out with a documentary last year, says, well, actually it was because they were both gay. And like, I was in a 3-way with like Ava Gardner and blah, blah, blah. So it's like this, it's like he's the only source. So you're not sure if it's true or not. Yeah. But he also, he was definitely like the fixer for a lot of these people. Like it's very clear and evident that he was. He ran this like gas station where people would go to get things they wanted, Yeah. And so apparently, who knows if this is true, but apparently Katharine Hepburn was a lesbian, which is why she never married after her first husband. And Spencer Tracy was gay, which is why he was separated from his wife the whole time, and why like he and Katharine Hepburn like kind of were each other's like beers for their whole lives. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I watched this video. Again, Carl Smallwood, fact fiend. And he cited this article that said there's this one time. So Katharine Hepburn would not wear dresses like in her normal life unless she was acting. And she wouldn't wear makeup, which like the studios hated because they wanted her to be the star and look good on camera and all of that. So there's one time they stole her pants from her trailer because they were like, you can't wear pants anymore. You have to wear a dress. So they replaced it with a dress or a skirt or something. And so instead of putting on the dress, she just left her trailer without pants on. And she was like, you can give them back to me whenever you want, but I'm not going to wear your dress. So she just walks around like in her underwear or whatever they wore back then until someone finally was like, here's your pants. Please put them on. And I was like, she is badass. So I don't know. I spent like 2 or 3 days listening to like every documentary I could find on Katharine Hepburn. And she was just kind of like that. She was like like Jane Fonda was talking about her and how scary she was. Yeah. But how everyone was like, you're amazing. But she also terrified all of them. So I was watching that. That's the whole story. I just love the fact that she was like, no, I'm not going to wear your dress. I'm just going to not wear anything until you give me my fucking pants back. I don't know. So yeah. Do you have anything else you want to touch on or say?
Love you.
Love you. Aw.
That's about all I got.
Drew does this thing. You do that a lot.
Yeah.
It's very, you're posy, with the
Google Earth, always watching.
Yeah. Did you know that, in our yearbook, I was editor-in-chief of the yearbook in high school.
I do
boo, boo, boo.
vaguely remember that.
But this was a pose that wasn't allowed in your senior picture.
Bullshit.
Because it would look like someone was punching you if it was cropped wrong.
I got you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Anyway, if you guys could leave us a 5-star review, that would be awesome. And keep giving us feedback. We'd love to mention you on air. And if you want to join us in the parking lot, we'd love to have you. So
yeah, we have to figure out a way to get guests in here yet somehow.
Yeah. Well, I think we're waiting on our funding situation pending.
True. Forgot about that.
Pending some future developments.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thanks for listening to the Long Shot Parking Lot, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Long Shot Parking Lot. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, including iTunes, Podbean, and now Spotify. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. If there are any topics you'd like to discuss, please email us at longshotparkinglot@gmail.com.